reality distortion, manipulation, anger, pity, gaslighting, provocation, anger, just to name a few of the tools difficult people try to use in desperation and in hope to influence your behavior so that they can try to make you to sign an agenda of which you have no idea. And I don't talk about political leaders, dictators. I talk about, unfortunately, people around you and me. Sometimes they're your friends, sometimes they're bosses or managers, sometimes they're the leaders, the colleagues, even family members. A very sad topic of today's video. Today we will learn how to navigate difficult situations and how to deal with these conflictual people. They always bring drama. They always have something which is going bad and they try to involve you in all this mess, after which you'll be dragged into the mud. Today's video is not about how to apply that kindness, but is how to stay awake and to not let others to take advantage of your kindness. My name is Alexander, founder of Explore Yourself Mindset Business Academy, and I'm a leadership advisor and a mindset coach. So I'm not a psychotherapist, I'm not a therapist. Therefore, we're not going to talk today about trauma, childhood, healing, and all the important stuff which are before this moment. We're going to focus on now and forward. So I want you to empower you today with these very important tools so that you can spot these behaviors. It's going to be very easy to remember. I created an acronym so you can use this framework so that you can navigate these situations, get out of it, and also how to go again and again through those situations, because sometimes we cannot just leave that spot or that context, and we have to learn how to deal with these people and how to get to a specific outcome without getting involved in all that drama. All right, that's what my beautiful cat sometimes he does that. He tries to involve me in his activities, but he does that out of great intentions, and I do that out of love, which is definitely reciprocal. But there are some people which are much sneakier than this, my little beautiful bishop, which is with us today. So how to do that? Well, today's video is going to be split in 4 parts, and the acronym which I will use is R.I.D.E. R-I-D-E. The first one stands for recenter, the second one identify, the third one diagnose, and the fourth elaborate. What is this about? Well, after you go through you're going to watch this video, you're going to have this framework and you can use it, and this will help you to navigate those situations so that you can get out of it, you don't get involved into that, and stay assured that I've been through so many situations and I'm surrounded by some people like this. If you're watching, keep learning. All right, this is great. I talk to those if maybe they know who they are and they're watching this video, which is great. So the number one is recenter. Well, imagine this situation. You have someone which comes to you with a whole lot of information, and they are in the heat of their emotions, and they just come with this, like, oh my gosh, you have no idea what happened, let me tell. They already come with this, or hey, can you tell me why have you this? They come with this frustration. They kind of try to spark this curiosity and to involve you immediately when they approach you. So the first one is recenter. What does that mean? In a heated up conversation, at least one must be calm. Because if you can't control, here's a one perspective to look at when you go through very difficult situations when you have a very conflictual person. If you can't control your inner reactions and you you let that provocation to involve you into that conversation, into that conflict, that's exactly the reason why they are in that situation, why they want to bring all that mess over your head, over your shoulders, because they can't control, they can't organize it. And they just let it to go out and they want to bring it on somebody else. So if you can't control your inner reactions, that's exactly the same reason what makes them difficult. So if we can't do that, then difficult people in that conversation, in that moment, are too. And we have to make sure that that calm person is you. So when you see those symptoms, somebody comes with these symptoms, red flags of like, oh my God, let me tell you, oh, I can't imagine, oh my God, wow, all of that stuff. You have to immediately make sure that's 1, 2, 3, boom. You gotta go within you and make sure that you are going to stay calm. So you have to recenter immediately when those signals are coming up, because if you do not do that and you let your reaction to go into what they are saying, boom, you'll find yourself in a few minutes that you are yelling or that you lost control. So let's look here a few steps within this recenter phase. The number one is don't agree with non-negotiable. So they might try to say something like, hey, but maybe we shouldn't say this to someone. Maybe we have to hide it. If this is a non-negotiable for you, don't buy into it. Don't agree with it. You might say, this conversation will stop here. I'm all right. Thank you very much. If you can do that, because sometimes it is not possible. We'll look how to deal with those situations in the context where you can't just leave. So don't agree with the non-negotiable, because they will test you. They will try to test and see if are you going to bend or not. And if they see that you can bend a little bit, they will try to push that button again and again in the following minutes or seconds. So the first one, boom, when you recenter, look within yourself, boom, and spot that moment when they try to bend into something which is a non-negotiable for you. Do not agree with a non-negotiable. They will try to lure you into that. The other one, if you can't just stop that moment, is listen, pause, and I'll be back prepared. So they might come with, maybe you can just tell them, hey, leave my office, I can't talk to you right now, I'm busy now. For example, you just can't, or maybe you're a guest or there are your guests and the situation doesn't allow you to say get out, or you to get out of that. Listen. Just listen. Just listen. Let him do the talk. I know it's hard, I know. But if you do not stay centered, it's going to be 100 times harder afterwards. And you are going to make multiple mistakes if you let you to be dragged into that. You're going to take for a ride, right? So the acronym says for ride, you don't want to be taken for a ride. Listen, pause. So something like this, they will tell you the story. Yeah, I've done this and they told me that, and then I've done this and I tried, but I didn't know, I can't understand. You listen. Then they will stop. Eventually. I know it's hard. Then you pause. Let's do that together. Pause. And then say, let me get back to you when I'm fully prepared. I will gather more. You don't want to go into details. You do want to justify. If you want to justify, say it. If not, avoid it. I'll be back. I'll prepare about this topic, and I'll be back to you. This is another one. If you can just get out of there. And the other one is make sure that you make the difference between defining your groundings and defending. Because if you don't buy into their story, into their conflict, if you don't validate what they say, and everything you might respond back, they will say, oh, so you are defending, so probably, boom, and here they go. Make the difference that you don't buy into that. Because an empathic person might think like, really, man, maybe I'm defending myself, like why have I done? Stating and saying, this is my table is one thing. Defending this table is another thing. Don't confuse and don't let them to confuse you. They might say, because it happened to me just yesterday. Oh, so I see you're defending. Like, no, I'm not defending. I'm just saying where I am. No, because I'm just stating where I am. I'm telling you what I stand for. That's it. I'm not defending. Don't buy into it. Don't let them to take you for a ride. So this is the recenter, the first part. Because in a difficult situation, when you have to deal with very conflictual, highly conflictual people, remember that iron sharps iron is true only if one iron is heated up and the other one is cold. Otherwise, they might fuse together, they become one. So make sure that that calm person, that center person is you. So this is the recenter. You can't move forward if you are not recentered. Skip this one and you might lose the battle. So this is the first one, recenter. When you find yourself in these kind of situations, recenter. The second one stands for identify. What have we to identify? Sometimes not all difficult people or difficult situations are there because there are difficult people. There are just some people which do have struggle with some things, with some topics, or to do certain tasks. You know, just imagine in your business, maybe, I heard this story, by the way, and there was someone which they were responsible for posting stuff on social media. So, but they were very glad to take videos. So they felt good at taking videos. They were creative and their emotions were good. But when it came to posting it on social media, they were a little bit frustrated because that was not the thing which they really enjoyed. So what the leader did is, I will take you out of that task, you will do this task, you'll do this, more of this and less of that. Sometimes it's not that all the people are difficult. It's just the task or the topic which they have to discuss with you is difficult for them, to them. So you, as the one which is aware and is watching this video and is empowered with these tools, you have to identify, am I dealing with a very difficult person which is always trying to bring and to make a difficult stuff out of little things? Or am I just dealing with a person which struggles to control their emotions and their frustration is a little bit over limit? So you have to be wise enough to understand who are you dealing with. You have to identify that. So how to do that, we'll talk in the third part of this video. This is the second one. So the first one was recenter. And by the way, in the description of this video below, you can access a program, a free program, Emotional Command Reset. If it is hard for you to control those reactions, especially anger, when somebody tries to manipulate it, to gaslight it, to provoke you, then you're just declaring what you stand for, but they say, oh, so now you're defending, and you might go through that anger because they are gaslighting you, they're provoking you, they want you to hop on their ride, on their train. Don't do that. Now, if it's hard to control that anger and you might control it, suppress, and then in 5 minutes you might say, and then you snap and then you're yelling and then you're getting back at them. Boom, that's what they were waiting for, a reaction. So if it is hard for you to understand what are the roots of that anger and how to understand and how to never get angry again is just one click away from you. Click on the link below, subscribe, register for that program, create your student account, access that program, watch their 6 short videos, and if you register and you create your student account, which is free, you can also download the workbook and do all the exercises which are here for each of those 6 videos, and that will help you to manage that anger and to understand how to deal with this emotion rather than suppressing it and then it explodes and then you're like, oh my gosh, something is wrong with me. No, nothing is wrong with you. It's just that you have to go through that program and that will help you so much. Well, back to our video here. So the second one was to identify. How do you identify? By the way, before we move into the third one, which is diagnose, the identification stage, don't fall for the trap difficult people try to offer you by making simple things into something difficult. Because they will try to push those battles of yours, emotionally, empathy, pity for themselves, so that you feel sorry for them, and that's what they are looking for. So if this person has this record of constantly doing this kind of stuff, always trying to inflate something and trying to make a big thing out of it, then you have to record it for yourself. And now when you go in the third one, I'm going to empower you with this framework, which is so powerful. I will use the blackboard because visually it will be much easier. So once you've identified for yourself and you decided for yourself, oh, wait a second, this is not a difficult person. This person is not that always makes a problem out of something. They just struggle to understand the situation they're in. They can't organize the information, and they are just bringing everything all together onto you. What to do then? Let's look together. So on the third stage of this video, we are going to talk about diagnose. What have we to diagnose? So look, use this framework, which stands for EPO. All right? What is that? When all the information is coming from all over the place, they tell you about what happened before, what happened later, and they try to intentionally, sometimes not, to confuse you. Now, what you can do to not let yourself to be overwhelmed. Imagine 3 baskets standing before you and them. Literally 3 baskets. Let's make them a little bit smaller so that we can see them here. All right. So 3 baskets. That's 1, that's 2. Like literally imagine 3 baskets when they are talking to you and bringing all the information. Of course, if you have the possibility to listen, because sometimes we have to cut it short, but use it according to your possibilities. The first one stands for event, the second one is for the process, and the third one stands for outcome. Event, process, outcome. So what does that mean? They tell you something about, hey, I received this email and I've been told that boom, boom, boom. You record and you put it in the event basket. That's something which happened before they started to do something with that. Now, when they share with you and they make all this big thing out of it, and sometimes it's legit. So it's just that they struggle to organize the information, and you have to do that. Now, if you want to share with them this framework, that's amazing. But sometimes the situation doesn't allow you to do that. And at least you have to do it for yourself. In the process, they might tell you, so I've tried this, I've done that, so it's I've done, I said, I tried, I applied. So it's something about what they have done. And the outcome, they might complain about outcome. That's what happened. That's where we are. This is why it's unacceptable. This result, because it's not my fault, because it's the marketing department fault, or that friend, or that person. So they are going to bring you information about before them, about them, what they have done, and what happened. Now, when they give you all the information, you've got to organize it in your head. Like literally, imagine 3 baskets. I always use it. I share it with my clients when I help them. It works like a Swiss clock. The more you train, the easier it becomes. Event, process, outcome. So they say, that's what happened. This is unacceptable. That's the outcome. That they told me, I received this information, I've been told, I've been this, that's what I've done. You organize that. So after you are going through that difficult conversation, you are going to pick up things from these 3 baskets, from this one, or from this one, or from this one, and you are going to reconnect it together so that you can diagnose where is the issue. Now, the second stage, we talked about identification. to understand, are you dealing with a difficult person or are you dealing with a difficult topic, issue? Now, if it's the person, very often, I'm not saying always, very often they might have this narcissistic way of behaving. I know it's a big word, but it's the reality around us. So we have to stay empowered and to know how to navigate those kind of situations, how to deal with those kind of people. They will always play the self-pity card. They always try to use that to make you, they will appeal to your empathy and sympathy, so then they can drag you into all that confusion, which is in the situation where they are. So if you know that that's about the person, while you are the third stage, which is diagnose, you have to diagnose where is the issue. Isn't it something they've been told, the directions, the policies they've received? Is it something about they have done? Or is it something about what happened? Because they might blame the event, which is what happened to me. That's why we've got into this situation, which is unacceptable, and they try to you to resolve or to talk or to share or to just bring you in. So you'll have to take things out of these baskets and say, oh, so if I understand you right, that's what happened, that's what you've done, and that's what you've got out of it, right? And they will say, no, 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 and they will always skip at least one of these three baskets. This is the power of this big framework. They will skip one of them and they will jump you and they will interrupt you. They will jump over you and they'll say, no, 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 listen to me, listen to me. This is, boom. And they'll try to hijack and say, whoa, just wait. I just want to understand what happened. Bring them back into the framework. Do not take these three baskets out of this space between you and them. And them. You might think about me like, well, I don't have a conflict with you. Imagine them, organize the information so that when you share it back, you pick up things from the baskets and you give back to them, so you make sure what's the situation, so that you can stay empowered, so that you can diagnose what's what, who's who, what's happening, and where are you dealing and going. So this is the diagnose, it's a history check. Now, if you find out that there is a person which is not difficult, but they just struggle to bring the conflict to you, if you are the leader in the company, or a person which just wants to share things with you, then you help them and you tell them, look, you might use this framework, event, process, outcome. So you might not use the same words, but say like, tell me what happened. That's what you've done, so that you can understand what's going on. Help them so they can become better employees or better friends, better colleagues. So that's a way to stay empowered. Now, if there is the person which is constantly conflictual, they always try to gaslight you and they will try to mess with your reality. They will switch words. They will provoke you. Now you are going to ask them questions. They're going to say that you're defending. Don't buy into all that stuff. If you can just cut it off, cut it off. If you can't, listen, pause. We talked about it before. Listen, pause. By the way, let's just quickly write them down before we move into the fourth one. So the first one was recenter. So recenter, by understanding where you are, that you are the calm one. You don't jump into that. When you see those symptoms, when you see those red flags, don't buy into that. Stay awake, because if you buy what they say, you're gonna be one of them. And a hot iron and a hot iron together, what happens? An iron sharps iron? No, they might fuse if they both are heated up. So the first one is recenter. The second one is, so it stands for R.I.D.E, R-I-D and E. So here we have to identify, is the situation or is the person. The third one is diagnose. The diagnose, come on. We use the event, process, and outcome. Stay organized in your head. Don't become the mess they want to project onto you. And the fourth one is elaborate. What do we have here to elaborate? we have to elaborate a strategy what to do next out of this situation. So after you diagnosed what happened before them, what have they done, what happened after they behaved, done, acted, applied, because might be not their problem, might be something that gave directives or the orders or the policies or the information they've got the wrong information, so that you can stay organized. The elaboration, we have to elaborate a strategy out of it. Like, where are we going with all of this? So you want to remember these steps, and then we'll write them down. Intention, words, expectation, and actions. Why are these four very important? And what is the trick here? 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first one are intentions. Well, tell me what do you want? Intentions, or what are your intentions? You got to make for yourself a clear understanding. Where am I going? Where am I heading? And what am I wanting to do? Because if I don't set an intention, you might be there boiling with them, and you try, and again, you're going to be taken for a ride. So set the intention. Hey, what can we do about it? Where do you want to get, and what would you like to happen? Let's set some intentions. And the second one, and here's the trick. The second is the words, then expectation, and then action. What does that mean? That difficult people will always try to mess up with you at this stage here. The expectation with the words. They will say the intentions, and then they will ask you for some expectation, or they will promise you some expectation, but they won't say it. They won't clearly define it. So what you want to do, you want to first state the intention, yours or theirs. Make them say it. If it's a difficult person, it has this typical way of behaving. Make them send you an email. You might send them back an email where you stand everything what happened. I listened this, I heard it from Hugh Chase, a CIA profiler, and he was sharing this covert way of dealing with these very difficult people. Actually, he said sociopaths. So he would send back an email after the meeting, including all the details which happened during that meeting, so that afterwards he has everything documented. Extremely good thing. I used it, it works, and it always works because you have documented, and they know you have documented it, and they will avoid trying to mess with you because they know you have got them like this. Then the expectation, and then see the action. So you've got to stay aligned with these four. Let's bring the it back. Intentions, words, let them say. Then the expectation. I'm expecting you to. Then by when? By what's the deadline? What are the expectation? After you've dealt with that situation, with that person, tell them that's what I'm expecting you next time you to behave, to do, or to organize. Declare your expectations. What are you expecting from them, so that they know what they can and what they can't. Don't let them to mess up with you and to influence you. And then look for actions. Actions are there. All of these three might be true if proven in time. If there are no actions, none of these three were true. Look at what they do, and don't allow yourself to be bought into what they say, that I expect, that what I tried and I will try, and they promise you, so that you can have expectation. They might say kind words, but they are not real. They know what people expect from them, so they will use words which sounds good, but they're not true because they're not accompanied by actions. And their intentions, which they say, I tried, I really wanted to, but it didn't work. Well, no, well, you did not, because it didn't do. Stay awake. And we know sometimes, yeah, but I understand it's a little bit hard for them. Depends. If you've taken them through the R.I.D.E, R-I-D-E, at the identification stage, you know who are you dealing with. Today's video is not about how to apply that kindness, but is how to stay awake and to not let others to take advantage of your kindness. It's hard, it takes experience and wisdom. I can share with you sincerely that trying to convince a narcissist from my personal experience and trying to making the mistake and being overconfident in my abilities, I thought I can educate them or I can show them how this actually look. That's a dangerous game, I would say so, but the more dangerous effect out of trying to educate a narcissist is that you might become one unknowingly through letting yourself being hurt again and again and again and again. You might trick your psyche into going into accepting that this is normal and something normal, or you might try to become one of them because you want to defend yourself from them, but this is not the way. The only way to stay awake and to stay in your power is to recenter, to realign with who you are. And when you're gaslighted, provoked, they just try to bring the worst version of yourself. I want to remind you, in the description below, there's a link, mostforce.com, and subscribe and create your student account so that you can watch those 6 videos, in total an hour and 90 minutes approximately, so that you can also download for free the workbook. Once you're going to answer the questions and you're going to see things within yourself, that will help you so much to recenter, to understand what anger is. The first chapter of that program is the hidden anatomy of emotions. And then you're going to go through an acronym through the other 5 lessons about anger. With that being said, stay centered. Don't let them to manipulate you, to distort your reality, so that you can navigate successfully difficult situations. Thank you very much. Stay awake, stay calm, fly higher, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.